Did you know the word brain rot is the Oxford Word of the Year in 2024? When I first see that post on Instagram, I was like, brain rot, what is that? And then I Googled it. It's the symptom of, first of all, you can't read long paragraph anymore, and then you prefer short form videos, short form articles, things that easy to digest. When you're looking for an answer, you're not thinking about reading a book or research more about this topic. Instead, you ask ChatGPT, then you get right away, you get answer, and then you didn't really ask if it's true or not. It's kind of like your brain just start to feel like you really want some fast result, including binge watching a lot of dramas. When I see these symptoms, and I was thinking, did I do that? Maybe I didn't even realize I'm somehow brain rot. I was like, okay, now I have to be conscious about it and do research more about this word, make sure I'm not brain rot. Then it reminded me one of the video, the ads from Apple Intelligence. I'll show you right here. I don't know if you have seen it. Take a look at this. Okay, this guy is not me, but the email thing, this is me. First of all, maybe I'm not really confident with my email writing skill. To be honest, I trust ChatGPT with the grammar because English is not my second language, it's not my first language. It doesn't matter if you are brain rot or not. The word to become the word of the year is not a joke. It's not just a meme. It's a warning for us, especially in the AI-driven world. All the contents, we are consuming way more content than before. There's so much noise on the internet, and if we're not conscious about what we watch, we're not conscious about what we do, then maybe we ended up worse than robots, you know what I mean? So in today's video, I'm thinking I want to find a book that can help me, or some kind of article that can help me to develop some kind of skill. Funny enough, I find this book called Critical Thinking is Your Superpower, Cultivating Critical Thinking in the AI-Driven World. I find this book and I loved it. So that inspired me to make this video today and to share my thoughts about, in this AI-driven world, how can we be conscious about what we see, what we do, and especially how can we still have a creative mind? How can we be productive and creative at the same time when there's so much noise out there? And let's get started. Hi, my name is Paris. This channel, Futures Now, is all about celebrating the art, technology, and creativity. Did you realize when you are stressed or when you are constantly working for other people's projects, everything you do is very purpose-driven? It's more about the result, and you kind of forget what should be the process, especially when ChatGPT started, when a lot of tools out there that you can use, then you kind of start to lose your own voice. So when I find this book, combined with the thoughts and the notes I took, and then something clicked, I find, yeah, this is exactly what I want to share here. And then these are the points I summarized, and I think it's going to be very helpful for us to be able to be productive, creative online after we consume overloaded information. The first one is to have the courage to be uncertain, which is really interesting because in this book, it says reality is not shaped by what is true, but is shaped by what is persuasive. That is so true. You know how AI now is analyzing every single person's interest? It's almost like the internet is making a code for you, and it only shows the thing that you want to believe that is true. Then at the end, you don't ask questions anymore. You just persuade that what you believe is true is, of course, is true. You don't need to question it. And you're so certain that is true, then your creativity dies. Because for me, the most important thing to be creative is to be able to ask the right question, to be able to challenge some facts, challenge some norms, or the things you see from different kind of perspective. That's what artists good at. One of the examples this book gives is really interesting. You know the French philosopher Rene Descartes, the person who said, "I think, therefore I am." If he's living our age and then overwhelmed by motivational quotes, tell him that self-doubt is a flaw, he'll never have the existential breakthrough. So then I was like, oh my God, that's a great example because, yeah, think about all these philosophers and artists. If they are constantly consume a lot of content online that favor their interest, maybe there will be no more Picasso. Instead, if you are always aware what we're watching, more like, I always said this word, as an outsider, rethink what we consume, understand why the content is there. Perhaps a breakthrough for us, consciousness breakthrough. What do you think? And then the second one is about slow thinking and fast thinking, because fast thinking is like automatic. it's very fast react. If you're always in this fast react mode, it's hard to create a space. You're always multitasking. So it's hard to create a space for yourself to think or to just let idea emerge. And then I guess a lot of artists or creative people know what I'm talking about. A lot of good idea emerge when you're not actually thinking. That's why a lot of artists doing meditation or this kind of practice to make yourself not overthinking or not overreact. So slow thinking to me means giving yourself space to breathe, giving your brain some space to rest. While a lot of information still inside the brain processing, you're still talking to yourself inside your head, then stop scrolling and giving your brain more information. I think that's also one of the way to be more creative or be more aware in this AI-driven world. That being said, I feel like when I give myself more space in my brain, I even talk better and I think more positively. And third one is the one I talked about in the previous video about how fake videos are gonna be overwhelmed and flood into our timeline. We always have to be skeptical, curious. That's the two words that you have to keep in mind. Let me tell you what, since I started YouTube channel, like I come back to YouTube, right? And of course, I will search what kind of topic is interesting and what should I talk about the next video. I want to get inspired by other people. There are tons of videos out there teaching you how to get the clickbait titles. And there are a lot of systems. Recently, Mr. Beast just started a channel, a system that you can search what kind of thumbnail and what kind of title that people like to click on it. It makes me feel like I'm not myself in here. And it also makes me feel like, okay, if everyone knows the clickbait, so you just cannot stop anymore. So when you're online, you're completely a victim of all this content. You don't even know what you're watching anymore because every sentence they write, every titles they put it on right there, it's based on what you like. And we'll be in this spiral of content, purposely make our brain rot. That's why in this video, I wanted to share, when you look at a title, even with a blog article, a lot of blog articles or articles right there is to provoke. You make you angry, you make you want to share, you make you want to talk about it. But mostly it's because you already talked about it or because you already believe in it. So when you see a title or some kind of content, maybe the first thing in your mind should be, who created this? What is this article or content trying to sell me here? What kind of evidence do I need to find to prove is this true or not? Is it really true? Is it AI written or is by some people who actually have the experience? So I think it's really important. Being curious and skeptical, it doesn't mean you reject everything you see. Like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to be on the internet. I'm going to live in the cabin in the wild. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more about giving your space to ask a better question. And that leads to the next one. I personally think it's not from the book, but it's personally, I think it's the most important thing is that instead of consuming a lot, maybe you should create more. Since I started coming back to YouTube channel, I do feel like I have less time to scrolling on social media. Instead, when I read article or when I read a book, I saw content, I'm more thinking from a creator point of view. Then I will think more about what's next I wanted to create, what kind of voice I want to have on the internet. And it will give me this critical thinking ability right away. Because when all this content right there are like sugar. It's hard to quit. But if you think yourself like a coach to help people lose weight, I don't know if that's a good example, but then you will consciously careful of what you consume. And I don't think it's a better time than now to create content online. I mentioned it a couple times before. YouTube or short video. I like long video format because it gives me more time to think and share my own thoughts. People want to hear real people talk about their own thoughts. And it will be getting more and more rare in the future because a lot of people will start to share content that AI driven. But if every day you give yourself the time and chance to analyze, to research, to collect information, and then to use your own brain, develop your own creative format and share with the world, then you are not just a consumer anymore. You are a creator yourself. And what kind of format? It's completely up to you. And I think being a content creator, or share your work on Twitch, doing your art on Twitch, or make it more real. Let people realize you're a real person, you have real feelings, and you have a voice out there. Brain rot, this word may define our habit of scrolling, but it cannot define us as human beings, because we adapt, we realize we have conscience, and we're not that easy to be controlled. Ask questions, ask a lot of questions, and create boldly by yourself or with AI. I never suggest hate AI or don't even think about using all these tools. I didn't think that's a good way as well, because if many people or everyone's using AI, you will be left behind if you don't use it. You need to use it, and you need to know how to use it wisely. If every one of us in the future conscious about what we create, also conscious about what we consume, that is the future I want to live in, worth waiting for, worth creating. If you can start to make contents, not just because you want to get viral, it's just truly about what you want to say, then maybe one day you didn't even realize you're scrolling anymore, because it won't satisfy you anymore. Because creating content and consuming content can make you completely feel different. Consuming content somehow can make you feel hollow inside, but creating content feel more fulfilled. I want this internet have more meaningful, thoughtful, helpful content that make people rethink about everything we see. Anyway, let's rethink how we create and how we consume and build a better future together. That's what I'm hoping to share in this channel. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for your time. And if you like the video, please share with a friend. Please share with people that you think they are on the edge of brain rot. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and turn the notification on. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.